Alright, what's up guys? Alright, so it's a little rainy out, so I won't be doing a street photography video today. So I figured that I would do a POV gear video. Should be kind of cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this head mount, this GoPro head mount strap on, and we're gonna get it going. So this right here is a Lowepro Truckee bag, I think that's what it's called. Actually, I'm gonna look that up real quick. So yeah, it is a Truckee camera backpack. It is $100 at Best Buy, which is where I got it from, but I think you can go on Amazon and find it cheaper. So yeah, I mean, this is like my everyday daily bag. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get into the gear, the equipment that I use for street photography and portrait photography. I would have made a video last weekend, but I was camping, and as you guys can see in the clips here, it was really awesome. You know, I had a lot of fun camping, and yeah, if you guys want to see the photos from my camping trip, you guys can go to my Instagram page, which is JoshGMedia. Definitely go check it out. Anyways, I'm gonna go get all this out here and out and out. So this right here is the Sony a6400. It's actually one of my favorite cameras now, probably one of my favorite cameras I ever bought. I've been through so many cameras that it's crazy. I've been through Nikon, I've been through Canon. I did have another Sony camera at one point. I had a Lumix camera, and you know, I had several, I have like maybe 6 or 7 different cameras, but now I've finally settled with one for now. But I mean, we'll see. But yeah, this Sony a6400 has the cage on it, not just to protect it, but also I can put like other accessories on here. I also have the screen protector, and right now I have the Sony 85mm f1.8 lens, which I'll talk about that here in a second. This right here is my Sony a6000, which also has a screen protector. This is pretty much my OG camera. I would say if you're starting out in photography, this camera right here is really good for, you know, when you're starting out. It's really good for street photography. It's good for portrait photography as well. The quality on the images from this camera is really good. For video, I would say it's okay. It's not bad for video, but if you want to do like really slow motion type videos, this doesn't have 120 frames per second. So yeah, if you're starting out photography or just want like a budget camera to use, then definitely recommend the Sony a6000. All right, so let's move on to the lenses. Obviously, the 85mm Sony f1.8. This right here is probably my new favorite lens. Probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. I mean, you can get this lens for like $600. I looked into like the Sigma 85 f1.4, but the price on it is really high, and I really wanted to save some money, so I just went ahead and settled with this. I'm not saying that this is a bad lens, because I mean, this lens is really great, not gonna lie. But the Sigma 85mm f1.4 is a lot sharper. There's something about Sigma lenses that are just like super sharp, and I'm not saying the Sony lenses aren't, because this lens right here is pretty sharp, but just not as sharp as the Sigma 85mm f1.4. So just kind of putting that out there. But again, this lens, this 85mm, is really great. Definitely recommend that, especially when it comes to street photography and portrait photography. This right here is the Rokinon 14mm f2.8. Surprisingly, I got this with a trade. Like, I had a $50 Canon lens I had sitting around that I barely even used, and I traded it with some guy that wanted to trade me my Canon lens for this 14mm f2.8, and I was like, oh, you know what? Why not? So I traded it and I took this around, and oh my gosh, the wideness on this lens is crazy. The only downfall about this lens is that it's a manual focus, but when you're trying to vlog and stuff, just put in 5.6, f8, whatever, then you might be able to get everything in focus. I don't know, but the only good thing about this lens is that it's super wide. So I like it. I do carry it with me every now and then, so yeah. This right here is the 28-70 f3.5 to f5.6 Sony kit lens. And I gotta say, it's not a bad lens to start with. If you paired this with the Sony a6000, it's a pretty good setup for just to start out with. I only use this for like video purposes, but if you want to get like that bokeh and everything, I would definitely recommend looking into a different lens that's like maybe down to f2.8 or f1.8 or f1.4. But this lens right here, it's not bad. It's good. It has its purpose, Let's see. Oh, I do have one more lens here. Oh, can't forget about this lens. This lens that I have in my bag, this right here is the Sigma 18 to 35mm. This was like my go-to lens for the longest time. I had this lens on my Canon 7D Mark II, so the images I get from this lens are just super sharp. I really do love it. I do have the Sigma MC11 for the Canon to Sony mount, so that comes in handy. I do have a polarizer on here for like reflections and stuff. I can just get rid of that in images. But I gotta say that the 18 to 35 Sigma f1.8, it's, I definitely recommend this. It's great for portraits, street photography, and video. The only downfall about this lens is that it doesn't have optical stabilization. If it did, then this lens, would be my everyday daily use of lens. Now I use the 85mm lens as like my go-to lens, but I use this lens for like portrait and video stuff, so it's pretty good. I like it. All right, so I think I'm done with that side. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this right here. I have the Anker 20,000 watt battery pack, and this right here is a lifesaver, especially when you're doing street photography and your GoPro's about to die, or your camera's about to die, or your phone is about to die. Obviously a battery bank is always a lifesaver, so I always recommend people to carry a battery bank in case if something happens. So yeah, these are lifesavers. I'm just gonna put this back in here. Let's see. Oh, I have this. I can't forget about this. Prism Lens FX. They're really great. I got this just because I wanted to test it out, and it fits really well for my Sigma. And when you put it down to f1.8, like all this right here becomes like a little bokeh in your lens, and it's really cool for like portraits and other stuff. So definitely go check them out. Let's see. Put that back in here. Go ahead and do this first pocket here. These are my batteries. Nothing too special, I got the Wasabi batteries, Sony a6000 and 6400 battery, and I do have another battery in this Sony a6400. Put that there. And this right here is a camera strap, a DJI camera strap. My advertising company gave me this, and I was supposed to use it for my work camera, but I don't ever use it, so now I just have it in my bag just in case if I do need it. And I have my GoPro accessories, which is the cable and SD card adapter. I have a little air duster here, get rid of that dust. And I have my GoPro chest mount. This is what I use for the POV street photography videos, and it's really great to have. I definitely recommend using the chest mounts instead of the head mounts, because when you're using the head mounts and you're trying to do like street photography and you're like looking around like crazy, then you're gonna get people sick. People are gonna get like a little dizzy. I'm not saying you shouldn't use the head mount, because I think the head mount's great, but I definitely do recommend using a chest mount because it just kind of keeps everything more steady. And I have a screen cleaner here for the back of my screens, because I do get them a little nasty, so it's always good to have that. Let's see what else. I have iPhone adapters for SD cards. You can just put the SD card in the adapter and plug it right into the iPhone. But unfortunately, I don't have an iPhone anymore. I have a Google Pixel phone. But I mean, for my friends that want the photos right away, or for clients or whatever, then they'll be like, hey, I can just stick the SD card, put it into your phone right away. And let's see what else I have. Sony power adapter there. I have the Wasabi battery adapter here, and I think that's pretty much it. I'll check these side pockets. I have headache medicine. I have my AirPods. Let's see, I have one of my polarizer cases here. Chapstick. And I think that's pretty much it for like my daily use. Obviously I don't use all of these things in one day. I mean, the only things that I use for street photography is just camera, this GoPro mount, this GoPro chest mount, and obviously my GoPro. I mean, I have the GoPro Hero 7 Black Edition, by the way. And as my backup, I do have the Sony a6000. But when I do street photography, sometimes I'll carry my bag, sometimes I don't. And so therefore this right here is my setup. The only reason why I carry my bag is because in case if I want to switch lenses, sometimes I like to use this Sigma 18-35. I don't want to leave this poor guy out, and neither I don't want to leave these poor guys out either. I want to use these. But I think in my next POV video, I may use the Sony 6000 and the 85mm. And then next time I'll use the Sony a6400 with the 18-35, and in the next video 6400 with the 14, and then 6400 with the 28-70. And then for a budget type video, I would really like to try this setup here, just because you can get this lens for pretty cheap and get this camera for pretty cheap. But we'll see how that goes. I do have a couple extra things I want to show you guys. Let me dig into my closet here. Alright, so for video, I use this Zion crane. I rarely use this. I only use it for like car videos, but I would really like to use it for like project videos someday, but we'll see. And I do have this right here. I have the light stick. It's a Young Nuo. I'm not really sure how to say it, but it's a light stick. It's really great. I love using this for portraits, especially at night or in a dark room or something. It really gives out like different colors and gives out really good lighting. Wow. So this is like normal lighting right here. It's like a sunlight, and then you have like white lighting right here, and then you have like the red, the green, the blue, and sometimes you can mix it up and then you get like a teal or a pink. It's really great. I really do love this, and I may get another one someday. We'll see. Put this back in the bag. But yeah, this is all my stuff. I mean, obviously I have like tripods and other things, but these are like the main things that I use, and were the main things that I carry mostly, especially when it comes to like portrait, street photography, and project videos. This is the stuff right here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you guys like the video. Subscribe, hit that bell button. You know, it really helps me out. You know, I really do appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You know, I just want to say thank you for all the positive comments. And yeah, hope you guys have an awesome day. I'm gonna try to make another video tomorrow, so I'll see you guys next. Claire. Hey girly. Hey girl. How's you going, girl? How's you going?